At our wedding, my maid of honor stood up and announced she's pregnant with my husband's child. The room went silent the moment the words left her mouth. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would tear through the lace of my wedding dress. "I'm pregnant," my maid of honor announced, her voice steady, her eyes fixed not on the guests, not even on me, but on my husband. "And it's his child." Gasps filled the air like thunder rolling through the grand reception hall. Champagne glasses froze mid-air, music faltered, whispers rippled through the crowd. I stood rooted to the floor, the white roses in my bouquet slipping through my trembling fingers, scattering petals across the polished marble. In that single instant, everything shattered, the vows, the promises, the years of love I thought I had built with James. I couldn't even look at him. His face was pale, his mouth opening as if to deny it, but no words came. That silence was louder than her announcement. I met James 3 years before, on a rainy afternoon at a bookstore. He wasn't the kind of man you could ignore, charming, confident, with a smile that seemed to melt the edges of the world. We fell fast and hard. Late-night phone calls, weekend road trips, laughter spilling over every conversation. I believed in him. I trusted him. And as for Emily, my maid of honor, my best friend since childhood, she was supposed to be my sister in everything but blood. We shared secrets, celebrated birthdays, cried over heartbreaks. When I got engaged, there was no question she would stand by my side on the most important day of my life. But never in my worst nightmares did I imagine she would stand by my side only to tear me apart. The chaos that followed her announcement was unbearable. Guests murmured, some tried to console me, others avoided eye contact as if betrayal was contagious. My mother rushed to my side, whispering to stay calm, but my world was already spinning out of control. James finally found his voice. "It's not true," he stammered, but his shaking hands betrayed him. Emily's lips curled into a bitter smile. "Don't lie, James. You know it's yours." Tears blurred my vision, but anger pushed through the haze. "Is it true?" I asked, my voice breaking, directed at the man I thought I knew better than anyone. He looked down, unable to meet my eyes, and in that silence, I found my answer. The wedding was over. My marriage ended before it began. The days that followed were a blur of pain, disbelief, and sleepless nights. I replayed every moment in my head, times he came home late, excuses about work, moments when Emily had been too busy to spend time with me. The puzzle pieces I had ignored were now fitting together in a cruel picture. But grief slowly gave way to anger, and anger gave way to clarity. I realized I had a choice. I could let this betrayal define me, or I could rise from it stronger than ever. I packed my bags, moved out of the apartment James and I shared, and stayed with my sister for a while. I deleted his number, blocked Emily, and began the painful process of cutting ties with the people who had destroyed my trust. At first, it felt like drowning. But slowly, I learned to breathe again. Months passed, and I began therapy to untangle the knot of betrayal inside me. I surrounded myself with people who truly loved me, my parents, my sister, supportive friends who had always stood quietly in the background. I poured myself into work, into rediscovering passions I had put aside during my relationship. One morning, I looked in the mirror and realized I no longer saw a broken bride. I saw a survivor. I saw a woman who had faced humiliation, heartbreak, and lies, and still found the courage to stand tall. James tried reaching out once. A weak apology through mutual friends, but I didn't respond. Emily disappeared from my life completely, her name only surfacing in hushed gossip. I didn't need answers from them anymore. Their choices had spoken louder than any words. And then, slowly, love found me again, but not in the way I expected. It wasn't about another man sweeping me off my feet. It was about loving myself, trusting myself, and choosing myself first. I realized something important. Betrayal doesn't mean I wasn't enough. It means they weren't worthy. Looking back now, I don't see that day as the day my life ended. I see it as the day my real life began. Because sometimes, the people we think will stand beside us forever are the very ones who push us toward the future we truly deserve. So, if you're listening to this and you've been betrayed, humiliated, or broken, I want you to remember this: your story doesn't end with their betrayal. It begins with your strength. And mine began the day my maid of honor announced she was pregnant with my husband's child.